having some audio issues on the live stream, but I think I got that worked out. So give me another second here so I can kind of collect myself, and we'll be ready to roll. It's gonna be an awesome day, awesome episode. I'm telling you, gonna love it. All right. Now, one last check of the memory card on the audio. Podcast isn't a podcast if you don't record it. So, all right. I think we're ready. We're going to go ahead and get the show on the road. Hey, Stoners. Welcome to another captivating edition of Sticks-n-Stonez show, taking place right here at the No Shoes Bar and Grill. This is going to be an exquisite combination, I do kind of believe. So, I mean, I think this is really going to be kind of a, like ultimate cigar and whiskey pairing experience, I'm pretty sure. So we are going to be pairing today George Dickel Barrel Select. For those of you on the live stream, you can see it. That is a spirit I have paired once before. It is a really good one. And I am pairing that with the Flathead Steel Horse. I think this is just going to go together like peas and carrots, to quote another famous person. So, but we need to prepare ourselves for a sensory journey like no other. I think there's going to be some rich flavors and some expert craftsmanship that are going to collide into a unforgettable experience. So right after this, we are going to pop the cork, cut the stick, and get to toast it. Now, George Dickel Barrel Select. A lot of people are familiar with Dickel, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna have to fix this in a minute. My table's a little wobbly. So anyway, for those of you on the live stream, here it is again. This is their Barrel Select Tennessee whiskey. It is 43% alcohol by volume, which, if my math is right, that's 86 proof. It is it's a non-age statement technically, but it is a combination of 7 to 10 or 12-year-old spirits. So the mash bill is 84% corn, so it should have quite a bit of sweet to it. 8% rye gives it a little spice, and 8% malted barley. And it is distilled by George Dickel. So let's go ahead and glass some up. Wasn't a really great cork pop, but it did have a little to it. All right. Set that aside. And here we go. Those of you on the live stream can see it there in the glass. I'm going to give it a little swirl. It's got some really good legs. Nice cling to the glass. It is I would say kind of a dark caramel with some tinges of yellow in it. I mean, it really does kind of look like a really golden sunlight. Rays of sunshine cascading down from above. So, there you go. All right, on the nose. It's very light, kind of airy, but it is round and fairly sweet, which I expect with that high of a corn content. I get caramel, vanilla, some toffee, and of course corn. I also pick up kind of coming up through the corn, maybe some like taffy, little cherry in there, some maybe some butterscotch, and a bit of oak. And there may just be a very slight hint of citrus, although not any citrus specifically like limes or lemons or just kind of that kind of citry, you know. Mm, yeah, and that kind of hangs around in the background there. It's not really, all right, not really. It doesn't really come to the forefront much. So, but it is there. All right, let's give it a taste. It starts out with kind of a caramely sweetness, but then the corn kind of comes rolling through behind it, uh, and amidst all of that, you're also getting some notes of vanilla and oak and maybe some cloves, and then just a hint of rye spice. So I think they did a really good job of uh, touching the rye in there to kind of give it a spice, but not going overboard. It gives it just enough. Uh, Mouthfeel, I need another drink for that. Um, it is really soft and kind of creamy, um, but there is sort of a refined aspect to it. For those of you on the live stream, you're going to see me bouncing back and forth. The camera is here, but my computer's there, so I'm looking over at myself to see if I'm looking like a fool or anything, which is pretty common. But anyway, back to the mouthfeel. It is soft and creamy and has a pretty refined aspect to it for it to be, you know, I consider Kentucky and Tennessee as country whiskey. You know, we're not we're not Scotch or anything like that. Uh, it is really good. It is definitely worth a bottle. So, and it's very reasonable. I believe it was less than $50 for a fifth, but I don't remember exactly how much. So anyway, the finish. Need another drink for that too. Now, the finish is pretty long. I've now had three three sips, and it has never completely died out from the sip before. It does kind of hang around, especially a little bit of just a little bit of spice and kind of burn on your tongue. But there's also in there some really nice notes of caramel and vanilla and maybe some corn, uh, and then just a touch of oak. It's this is, I mean, I think it's really a great spirit. It is. So, all right, on to the stick. We have the, make sure that's turned right. Kind of hard to tell. I do like the band, but I think there needs to be a little bit more contrast between the images and the band color because it really doesn't show up all that well on the camera. But the band doesn't affect the smoking. So this is the Flathead Steel Horse, and it is this particular Vitola is a Toro 6.5 by 52 on the ring gauge. It is of Nicaraguan origin. It's a full strength stick. Uh, the filler is a blend of it's a tri blend. It has Dominican Republic, Honduran, and Nicaraguan fillers. That is bound in a Brazilian Arapiraca. I think that's right. Uh, and it is cloaked in a Connecticut Habano Oscuro wrapper. I don't know that it's quite that dark, but you know, anyway. Visually, it is, as you can see on live stream. Maybe that's better. Get a little light on it so you can kind of see it. It is a kind of a medium to darker brown. It is rather oily. It has a nice sheen to it. Uh, it does have quite a bit of tooth to it as well. I'm going to be interested in that because as the little packets of oil in the leaf get hot and pop, that's I like that. It has very visible but tight seams. I doubt you can pick up that kind of uh, detail on the camera, but you just very tight but very visible seams and minimal veining. There's a couple on there that are pretty prominent, uh, but overall, it's nice, smooth, great feeling stick in the hand. So let's move on to the nose because I'm interested to get this one fired up. I get notes of hickory, maybe some kind of salted dark chocolate. There's quite a bit of like spicy black pepper in it. Going to give it a cut here using the Cassetti multi-cutter on the V-cut. Now, one thing I will say is this is a Toro, but that is a very flat heel for just a regular rounded end stick. I mean, I happen to notice it because the only other one that I've really smoked that's been like this is Drew Estate's Java line. They're all flattened off at the back, and it has a very large double cap. I don't think I mentioned that. So there are some very curious things about this cigar, which I think I'm really going to enjoy delving into. Another good cut. All right, cold draw. I get kind of like a musty, earthy, damp earth kind of, like you're in a more higher elevation, wooded area, and you kind of get that smell of damp moss and things like that. It's a really rich, musty smell. It's not a bad smell. You really do. I love it. We used to go to the Smoky Mountains when I was a kid, and every time we'd go to cross over from Tennessee into North Carolina, I'd want to ride with the windows down because I love that smell coming into the car. It's really great. Anyway, and then there's also black pepper, and there's a little bit of cedar on it as well. Mm. All right, let's go ahead and toast this stick up and try these two out together. The Steel Horse just billows smoke. It is a great smoke producer. It is full bodied and it is a complex cigar with notes of spice and pepper. There's some chocolate in there, some oak, and maybe a little bit of coffee. Uh, I'm really astounded at the complexity of this stick. It's a pretty easy draw, but I am having to draw pretty hard on it to really keep it going here. There we go. All right. And you can see smoke just continues to waft around. It's awesome. All right. Let's try it with the barrel select here. It does kind of perfectly complement the bold flavors that we found in the George Dickel Barrel Select. Uh, the whiskey is outstanding, and it offers us kind of a symphony of caramel and vanilla and spice. And that just kind of harmonizes really well with the notes coming off the stick. Um, she got her collar on. I think we're back. I'm not completely sure. I don't exactly know what happened, but Restream, the streaming service, kind of freaked out. So, all right, I got to turn the recording back on too. Hopefully, I didn't get any curse words on the podcast part of it. I'll probably have to edit some stuff out. Anyway. All right, we are back. Where were we at? We were at how well the George Dickel Barrow Select pairs with the CAO Steel Horse. There's something else in there too, but I can't remember what it is now. I've gotten flustered. So, but the stick has given us some spice and pepper and chocolate and oak and coffee, and the George Dickel has brought us some caramel and vanilla and spice, and so it all kind of really weaves together like really well to create a wonderful little symphony going on in your mouth. That's what she said. And I do realize that now things have really gone awry because we have somebody who's decided to mow their yard while I'm doing this, and they have let the dog out to run around in the backyard with me as well. So, yeah, I'm going to try and hold it together. We're trying to have a professional show, but things work against us. And I will say that my streaming service over here, I have an area for comments, but I never see any. But then when I go back to watch the live streams on YouTube, Facebook, X, I always find comments. I don't know why they don't come up here, but if I don't answer you, it's not because I don't care. It's because I'm not seeing your comments. So I was trying to move to another service, but it wasn't working. So I'm thinking about replacing my laptop and getting an Apple, and then I could give it another shot. Anyway, for those of you on the podcast, I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the halfway mark, and then I will come back and give you an update. And for those of you on the podcast, you're going to continue on with this wonderful train of professional entertainment. Lord Jesus, could I have anything else working against me? I just want to have a podcast. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. So, because you can't see, all you can see is my expressions. You can't see all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Unfortunately, this is my circus and these are my monkeys. So I'll just keep drinking and puffing. Just the way it is. Anyway, I tell you, I believe in all the commotion I have forgotten to mention, and I hope they forgive me. The stick, and actually the next few episodes sticks, are courtesy of my good friends Roy and Tracy. They were at Talladega, and there was a mobile smoke shop out there, and they picked out some nice sticks to send to me, and I greatly appreciate it. And this is one of them right here. Now, Roy was taking all the credit, but then Tracy piped up and said, "Hey, wait a minute, I picked those out." So I'm giving you both props. And I don't even know if I'm completely looking at the camera. So I will say this is it's kind of a slow burning stick. And that can be bad or good, really depending on you. If you're in a hurry, you're not going to be able to hurry this one up. if you want a lot of time to just sit back on your patio and listen to the lawnmowers and have a smoke and a drink, this is your stick right here. So, and I will have to say, I'm going to have to try some more of these flatheads. Uh, no reason why I haven't. I've just had other things on my mind. It is, this appears to happen quite a bit with cigars, and that is it's got a rather wavy burn. But if you recall in the beginning, I was kind of having trouble getting the top, the top part of the cigar lit. And if you will notice how it's separating, it's not those nice little neat stacks of ash. There's actually like a crack in the ash. I'm sure you can see it. I have to get it far away so I can get enough light on it, but then it's so far away that you can't see it. So anyway, take my word for it. Hasn't affected the burn or the profile any, but just something different. So I cannot tell you all what is going on back here in the background. It's not fit for TV, but it's a shit show. So anytime you let my dog out in the backyard, I love her. She is she's almost like my service animal. She's not, but she's like it. Anytime she thinks I'm getting upset, she'll want to come and put her chin on my leg and want me to pet her, and she'll just keep nudging at me until I do, because she knows she'll calm me down. Of course, you know me. I don't have any high stress moments, right? So, but she's very in tune to my moods. And a hell of a swimmer. She's built for it. She is a silver lab. A lot of people may be going, never heard of that. I hadn't either until I saw a picture on, isn't one of those advertisements. You're scrolling through Facebook and then there's a little square ad. And I was like, oh, Weimaraners. I clicked on it. No, I was like, Silver Lab. Never heard of that. So I got doing some research. And they've been around, it's 2024, they've been around for about 75 years as far as, breeding. But they're called silver labs, but they are actually chocolate labs. There is a specific genetic marker that doesn't get tripped in their DNA to give them that chocolate brown look, and they come out with blue eyes and silver fur or hair. I can't ever remember which animals have fur and which have hair, but anyway, all that stuff on the outside. But then as they get older, they typically 70 to 80% of them lose the blue eyes, and the eyes become more like a greenish yellow, which is what hers did. And they become more of a lot of them become more of a grayish, where they get a little bit of a brownish look to them. There's another one or two here in the neighborhood, and they are older dogs, and they are still gray, where she's gotten more of the grayish. But I love her. She's my baby. So, oh wow, look at this. Look at that. That is, I don't know that I've ever had a stick do that. It looks like Pac-Man. I mean, I have to say, it looks like it may be part of the roll. Hang on here. Let me see if I can do a little something here that might help you out. That way I can get it close in. It looks like it may be part of the roll, and it is now separating as the as we get farther into the stick. I hate to do it, but I'm gonna have to tap the ash off on this because it will fall. That is, I hate that. I will have to deduct a couple of points for that. So, but that is the way it goes with hand rolled cigars because they're not machine made, uh, and that's one of the reasons why you want hand rolled, because of that. I mean, they are, pretty consistent as far as cigars go, but those are those things that is just that roller on that day on this stick rolled it a certain way, and that's how it ended up. Or, you know, there was a stem left in the uh, on the leaf when they rolled it, and that's just how it ends up like that. So it happens, and there a lot of times they are curiosities like that. Like I've never had one really like open up that far. That was kind of amazing. So, but other than that, it is flawless construction. I mean, it is great construction. I did the CAO Bella Vanilla a few weeks ago. Uh, but anyway, again, you can't see what is going on behind you. It's my circus and my monkeys. And I am very much a fan of the George Dickel Barrel Select. I know I haven't really said much about it. It is outstanding. Um, it has enough spice and enough heat, but it's still very creamy and sweet. And it is a delicious spirit. And I think not only for this stick, but for others as well. Uh, but I do think these two have gone very well together. Uh, I'm going to have some or a really good, what I think is going to be a really good pairing coming up. Uh, Not exactly sure if it's going to be next week or not, but um, I won't give it all away. But I've paired the stick before a couple of times, and it's been like one of my best, maybe my most favorite cigar. And if you watched a lot of my episodes, you may know where I'm going with that. But the spirit is a spirit that I've been wanting to try, uh, but I just had never gotten around to getting a bottle, and now I have a bottle. So, and I think they will go very well together. And then on the podcast, on the audio, uh, there will be a link to Cigars International for this stick, and to Total Wine for the George Dickel Barrel Select. So go back and pull up the audio when it drops. And I'm about a week and a half behind on the podcast. So I do these live streams. You're actually getting exclusive access to what's coming up because I'm recording this and I'm live streaming it at the same time. Live streaming, not stringing. Uh, and so then when I go to work the audio up, get it all set up, get the write up done, all of that kind of stuff, uh, I then will post it. I record this on the weekend, and it won't be that next week. It'll be the next one when the audio actually drops. So you're getting to see what's coming up before it actually happens. And you may want to go back and uh, watch the episodes over or listen to the episodes over. I hope you do. So puppy's in the pool again. And this stick is still putting out just massive amounts of smoke. It is a great smoke generator. I don't think it's too much. There's some of them that like you can't, you know, you can't function because of all the smoke. But this is a lot, but not too much. Goodness. All right. Well, unfortunately, on this one, y'all are going to have to wait till the audio drops to get the final, because there's just entirely too much going on. I cannot keep this live stream going. Anyway, the CAO Steel Horse George Dickel Barrel Select. You definitely want to try these out together. You will like them. Until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold. Have a great day.